Could this be the week where one of the pitchers that's mentioned gets signed or traded? Let's get into it. What is going on, everyone? I hope you're all having a great Sunday. Before I get into it, if this is your first time on this channel, please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video, share this out with anyone you know. I am currently sitting at 142 subscribers, and I'm on the road to 200. And if you all could help me get there, I would greatly appreciate it. And to all of you who have subscribed, thank you for your support. It means a lot to me. And it motivates me to get these types of videos and do these types of videos and get it out to all of you. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So let's get into it. Over the last 5 or 6 days, there's been a lot of names mentioned as far as pitchers go. So, you have Jordan Montgomery and Blake Snell, who are both free agents. You also have teammates Edward Cabrera and Jesus Luzardo from the Marlins. And then you have Dylan Cease from the Chicago White Sox. All right. So I want to dive a little bit into the career numbers, right? So let's look at Jesus Luzardo, right? Career-wise. We're looking at, for Luzardo, we're looking at his stats. So career stats, he's played a total of 93 games, 23 wins, 28 losses, and a career 4.25 ERA. Okay. If we look at Edward Cabrera, he's got a 13 and 14 win-loss record with a 4.01 ERA career-wise, and then 43 games played. So not as many games played as Luzardo, okay, but the ERAs are pretty close to one another. Okay. Now, and then last but not least, let's get into Dylan Cease, who has the most experience out of the other two guys. So he has a 43 and 35 record career-wise, right? Win-loss record, 3.83 ERA, and he's played 123 games. Now, all three of these guys are good pitchers, okay? I'm not trying to bash their numbers, okay? You got to keep in mind that the teams that they're on and who they played for, right, may not have been the greatest of teams, so they didn't exactly have the support, right? But, in the Marlins case, they're coming around. They got some guys on their team that's gonna help them win some games. The Chicago White Sox right now, they're kind of on a fire sale, so they're probably, I would say, in a rebuilding mode. Okay. Now, again, I think all three pitchers are good, but if I'm the Yankees, I'm not giving up any top prospects or any big names to acquire these guys, right? And a lot of you know who I'm talking about. There's been mention of Spencer Jones, Jason Dominguez. There's been mention of Chase Hampton, Will Warren, Austin Wells even. And I'm not giving up any of those names for any of those three names that I just mentioned, for Jesus Luzardo, Edward Cabrera, or Dylan Cease. Again, I'm not saying that they're bad pitchers, but to give up names like that in a trade, it's not worth it. And if we're talking Spencer Jones alone, who's the Yankees' top prospect and who's expected to be one of the top prospects when he comes to Major League Baseball, when he makes it up there, if I'm trading Spencer Jones, I'm asking for more. And if I want a starting pitcher, I want the best starting pitcher possible. And none of these names that I mentioned, to me, they're not like a Greg Maddux or a Randy Johnson or a Kurt Schilling type. All right. There's other names that I could throw out there as well. I could throw out there Pedro Martinez. There's plenty of names I can mention. And none of those three pitchers come to that type of level. Especially if the Marlins and the White Sox are asking for a top prospect like Spencer Jones or any of the other big names from the Yankees that I mentioned. To me, they're not worth giving up. Some Yankees fans would do it. I wouldn't personally. Okay. Again, I would love to have any of those three names on the Yankees, right? But it's got to be the right trade. And I know the Yankees have been in talks with both the White Sox and the Marlins as in inquiring, one of those pitchers. All right, so some names have been mentioned, but like I said, we'll see what happens with that. Now let's move into the free agents. Let's talk about Jordan Montgomery and Blake Snell. Okay, two very good pitchers. I mean, you can't go wrong with signing either one. For the Yankees, Jordan Montgomery, they would reunite. Jordan Montgomery, as you all know, has played for the Yankees before he got traded to the St. Louis Cardinals for Harrison Bader. But when he left the Yankees, he pitched very well. He did well with the Cardinals. He did well with the Texas Rangers, won a World Series. All right. And now he's trying to look for top dollar, and he wants the kind of money, he wants more money than what Aaron Nola received, which rightfully so. I get it. Okay. Now with Jordan Montgomery, now his career, when you look at his career numbers, you're looking at 38 wins, 34 losses, a 3.68 ERA in 141 games. That's his career. Okay. Again, he's shown great improvement. He's a durable guy. Okay. I know the Yankees have expressed interest in reuniting with him, but it sounds like he wants to go back to Texas. But Texas is making it sound like they're not going to be able to afford him. So what does that mean? Does he consider the Yankees, or do we think that he might reunite with the Cardinals? Which wouldn't surprise me. I know there was rumors about the Boston Red Sox because of his wife's residency. That could be a possibility too. But with the way the Red Sox have been going, I don't see a potential signing with Jordan Montgomery, just because of them trading players and having players available. It sounds like they're in a rebuilding mode as well. So St. Louis Cardinals makes sense to me. And then you also have the Yankees. Okay. Montgomery, again, wants to go back to the Texas Rangers, but it sounds like Texas Rangers are not really feeling it because of the money. Now, as far as the money goes, if he is trying to get paid more than Nola, it might be $180 million for 6 years, right? Which puts him at a $30 million AAV. That might get the deal done, but we'll see what happens. That's just my prediction. I'm not saying that's what he will be offered. I'm just saying that's what he might receive, and that's what he might accept should a deal like that come his way. Okay. Now, let's look at Blake Snell. All right, let's look at his career numbers. So we're looking at 71 wins and 55 losses, career 3.20 ERA, 191 games played. All right. So look, I know some people may have their reservations about Blake Snell, but Blake Snell is a great pitcher. Okay. Just like Montgomery, he's a lefty, and he would be a valuable piece to the Yankees rotation or any team that's pursuing him. All right. He's a Cy Young winner. Let's not forget that. And he is familiar with the AL East. He played for Tampa Bay. So he's not a stranger to the AL East. Now there's talks of him preferring to play in the West Coast, right? And that could very well be. He's from the Washington State area, so it makes a lot of sense. But we've also heard the same thing, for example, with Garrett Cole and CeCe Sabathia about those two preferring the West Coast, but they ended up signing with the Yankees. Could this be the same for Blake Snell? We don't know. Okay. And he's asking for more than $200 million. So if it was up to me, if I'm the Yankees, I would offer him $210 million for 7 years, which puts him at that $30 million AAV. That's what I would offer him. And personally, I wouldn't go more than 30. If we're going to go more than 30, I would go tops 32, but I would rather stick with 30 million. I want to stay at that 30 million. I don't think neither him or Montgomery should be getting more than 30. But that's just my opinion. That's how I feel about it. You all may feel differently. Okay. So no doubt that, players are getting overpaid this offseason. We saw some of the deals that went down. Okay. We're seeing some of these trades that, were some of these trades you kind of scratch your head as far as what teams gave up to get a certain player. So again, with the three pitchers that I talked about earlier with Jesus Luzardo, Edward Cabrera, and Dylan Cease, good pitchers, but I'm not giving up top prospects for them. And if I am giving up top prospects, those teams better be offering more. Okay? With Jordan Montgomery and Blake Snell, both durable pitchers. You can depend on them. They'll be great. They'll be great for any team in their starting rotation. They'll be a great addition. But I'm not offering either one more than $30 million per year. But again, that's just my opinion. That's how I feel about this. Okay. And then the one pitcher that the Yankees are not interested in, I wanted to bring this up because I thought it was hilarious, was Marcus Stroman, which Marcus Stroman expressed interest in playing for the Yankees. The Yankees did not feel the same way. Apparently, some fans on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, had made a mention of it, and Stroman was blocking Yankees fans on Twitter, or excuse me, X. And I thought that was hilarious. I thought it was funny that Stroman was, blocking everybody or a lot of Yankees fans on X. So, it goes to show who he is. And personally, again, I think he's a good pitcher, but he's got a bit of an ego, needs to fix his character, has an attitude. I'm not really a fan of him. Again, I think he's a good pitcher, but I don't want him on the Yankees, and I'm glad the Yankees are not expressing any type of interest. But that's all I got right now. Hopefully you watch this whole thing, this whole video. And if you have, please tell me what you think. Please tell me if you agree, disagree. I want to hear your takes. I want to hear your opinions. Okay. But this is how I feel about these pitchers that were mentioned. This is how I feel about them. This is my evaluation. But again, drop your comments, drop your thoughts. You tell me if you agree, disagree, if I'm right or wrong. I want to hear from you. All right. If any news comes out, I'll definitely let you know. And I will see you all next time.